Beware, it is easier to trust the me that I can see. Grace and peace, everybody. Welcome to Sabbath School Study Group. This is a new series about managing in tough times, specifically managing your money, but really managing anything, especially in a tough time. The Bible lays out some principles, and it really starts by understanding to not trust your own resources. The natural reaction to any action, particularly to a tough time or to a struggle, it's to turn to what we have, to use what we have at hand. But the Christian response is initially, because there is a response, but that initial response is to trust the one who's brought you so far. We're going to talk about that in the whole series. But let's start by that red button that we want to be aware of, and that's to not look at ourselves. It's easier to look at ourselves because we see ourselves. And anything that we can see, the Bible says, is actually temporal. That includes you and me, this shell we call us. See, in 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse number 18, while we look not at the things which are seen, but at the things which are not seen. For the things which are seen are temporal, but the things which are not seen are eternal. Again, God understands, no pun intended, but he sees our issue. And when we think about a resource, when we think about a help, some kind of thing to fall onto, who better than the guy or the girl we see in the mirror every single day? So we want to be mindful to not rely on the temporal things, the things that we see, including you and me, because Hebrews chapter 11, verse 1 contrasts that reaction and says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Faith, by definition, is not driven, but it is dependent on that which is not seen. So now, since we're the seen and we can be seen, when it comes to faith, we get pushed out of the picture. We are not on the option list anymore because we are temporal, we are visible, but Bible faith is based on what we cannot see, or more specifically, who we cannot see. So when we make this transition from the physical to the spiritual, even when it comes to dealing with our physical problems, the basis, the root, the fundamental power behind dealing with those problems is one that we can't see. And that's the Lord. See, it says in Psalm 131 in verse number 3, let Israel hope in the Lord from henceforth and forever. Henceforth and forever. Talk about tough times. This is a faith that has a hope that does not even, it's not settling, it's not stopping in the present. But the psalmist says, henceforth and forever. It sees beyond today. It even sees through tomorrow and into eternity. Why? How? Because the whole basis of biblical faith is on what is eternal. It's based in eternity, and it even sees into eternity. That's the scope that we have to have in beginning this journey of managing through tough times. I hope this helps us. I hope we see, don't go by what we see. We start by making that transition to enter into the unseen, not the unknown, but the unseen. And it's the unseen that's the realm of the everlasting Father.